Hey, what's up? My name's Lucas. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based out of West Michigan. Welcome to my channel. Today is Negative Mondays, and we are talking about how to convert your negatives. We'll be talking about Negative Lab Pro and doing manual conversions in Photoshop. So Negative Lab Pro is probably one of the fastest and most convenient ways to convert your negatives today. It is a plugin for Lightroom Classic, and you can batch convert multiple images, an entire roll, and you can have roll analysis so that it can better correct for colors on that roll. Negative Lab Pro is definitely one of the best ways to convert your negatives today. It's definitely the most convenient ways to do it. It is a paid plugin, but I think that it is worth it, but it does have some drawbacks. When you import your images, you have to have your border showing. You always white balance that border out, and then I just sync it to the rest of the roll, press Control N, and my settings for this are I like to use the Frontier for color film, and then about a 15% border buffer. And for color film, I use roll analysis. While I'm waiting for these to convert, I will talk about some of the downsides of Negative Lab Pro. It's not bulletproof. You don't always get the results that you're looking for, especially when you've got a lot of blue sky. There's some strange color casting that happens in it, and I'm going to show you guys how to fix that. And it is by manually converting the negative in Photoshop. And if that sounds scary to you, don't worry. I'll walk you through step by step how to do that. And I think that with both of these processes combined, having a total roll conversion and then a more manual conversion method, you can really get the most out of your film scans. Now, the reason I don't do the manual conversions for every single photo is because it takes a lot of time, and honestly, not every photo needs the manual conversions. So right off the bat, here's a picture of my daughter playing in the sand at the beach, and I love it. If you like the way that this image looks right out of the gate, my friend Dave Herring actually has a video talking through how he edits his Kodak color on Negative Lab Pro, and that is the preset that I have going for that, so you can check that out right up here. Shout out to Dave, he's great. So these photos look really good. Colors look natural and what I would expect from film. I am shooting Cine Still 400 on this, and this one a little bit too blue and a little bit too green. So I'll just adjust it with my slider here and it gets it pretty close. And so this shot of the seagull is exactly what I'm talking about. You're getting a lot of weird colors going on, a little bit of magenta in the shadows, and some of these look just really good. So once I have the settings set, I just go in and I will mess with the color temp and the tint to get the look that I'm desiring. So you can see here, this one, a little bit too blue, a little bit too green. So I'll just pump some magenta in there, pump a little bit of warmth in there, and it gets it pretty close to what I would like it to look like. Negative Lab Pro does tend to make your images pretty crunchy, pretty contrasty, if that's something that you like for your images. Then Negative Lab Pro is going to work great for you. Okay, so this is a good example of a shot that I would like to manually convert on my own just because there's a lot going on in this scene. I love the picture of this truck, but I know that it's more of a blue truck than this like ashy blue. The shadows, the foliage in the image is definitely too warm for my taste, and even just messing with Negative Lab Pro, you're not getting the proper look from it. And then the clouds are kind of teal, not exactly what I was going for. So let's bring this into Photoshop and manually convert it. So I just reset the image, my scan, and then I'll press Command Enter to open it in Photoshop. While that's opening, if you like this content, please like and subscribe. It really does make a huge difference. And check out my LV Essential presets down below if you like my editing style. They are on sale for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and then they will go back to their regular listed price. Also, my LV monochrome preset pack is in its final week of being available online. So if you've wanted to pick that up, now is your chance before I take them off forever. In Photoshop, we've got this nice scan, and we are going to do a couple of things right off the bat. Going to be doing a lot of curves. I have some actions that I have created so that I can do this faster, but I'll go through manually just so I can show you what I do. So get a curve, bring the black point all the way up and the white point all the way down, and then that is looking really good. Grab your eyedropper and make sure that you are on the background layer, and you're just gonna grab the black part of the negative, create a new layer, and then Shift Delete to fill that with that color. So what we're doing here is we are deleting the background so that it's going to be a nice black. Then I like to hit that at 80% opacity, and that's looking really good. Now another curves layer right on top, and we're going to go into the red, green, and blue channels. We're going to take this slider here, and holding Option, we're going to slide it until the image starts to peak, and that pull it off just a little bit. We're going to do that with each one. Again, Option click so that you can see the colors, and then it starts peaking in the sky right there. So I'll bring it back, go to blue, Option click, and it starts peaking in the sky right there. Bring it back a little bit. And so what we did there is we set the white point. So the color fill layer is setting the black point, and then this curves layer is setting the white point, and we're getting an image finally. So I will grab this curves layer because there's too much blue, so pull that back. Now you can start seeing the image form. Now there's too much green, so I'll bring the greens down. And that's looking pretty good. Let me pull out some more blue. So with this, because you're in Photoshop, things are working normally. So when you pull the blues down, you are taking blue out and adding yellow in. When you take the greens down, you are putting magenta in and taking green out. And when you mess with the reds, if you pull it down, you add teal in and pull out reds. So a lot of times I don't touch the red one. I can get pretty close with the green and blue curves. And I want to add just a little bit more warmth in there because this is Portrait 800, and that's looking really good. So from there, I'll add a hue and saturation. I will select the sky, so blues, and then give it just a little bit of, bring it to kind of a more normal, natural look. It was still a little bit teal, And then I think that looks pretty good. Again, I'm moving kind of quickly. And then I underexposed this image just a little bit. So I'll add another curves layer and then just bring the midtones up. I don't want to clip the sky. And then I will bring in one more curves layer and add a little bit of an S-curve to add a bit more contrast. And so let's see where we started and where we are ending. So let's bring that back into Lightroom, and then while that's happening, I'll undo that, and then we can do a side-by-side comparison of the Negative Lab Pro conversion and then the manual conversion. So let me crop this so we can see. We'll do a side-by-side comparison. And Negative Lab Pro is on the left and manual conversion is on the right. As you can see, it's a little less stylized. It's more of a neutral negative. And then from there, I can make the edits that I want to make to this image so that it can, yeah, be a final image. I like the color. I mean, I like the colors of the Negative Lab conversion. It's a little bit overbaked in my opinion. And so that's why I did this conversion here. And then I can edit this as normal because it is a TIFF file when it comes back in from Lightroom. So we will edit this to taste. Add a little bit of saturation and vibrance. And honestly, I think that looks really good. You might like the Negative Lab Pro conversion on this one. I might as well. It's a little bit more neutral. My conversion is a little bit more neutral that I did in Photoshop. But looking at them side by side, the colors are definitely colors that I go for. It's just a little bit crunchy. So that's my process for converting negatives. Let's see if there's another image that I can get. Yeah, see, here's a photo of a dog that we watched for a little bit, Nico, and Negative Lab Pro knocked that one out of the park. So I'd say like 90% of the time, Negative Lab Pro does an awesome job with converting the negatives, but 10% of the time you're going to have to go in and manually adjust them, or if you don't care, you can just not do that. But for black and white images, I use Negative Lab Pro 100% of the time. I really like the way that they render on Negative Lab Pro. So the only difference is I do black and white instead of Frontier, and then I don't do roll analysis. So it's going to analyze each image on its own and then do the conversion based on that. So with black and white film, you are not getting as much, there's just no color. So you don't need as much variance and it doesn't change as much from image to image. That way it can set the black point and the white point for the specific image as opposed to having a roll analysis. Well, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. It really does make a huge difference. I make new videos every Monday and Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.